Bigfoot stomping in the dark, dark night. Aliens dancing in the pale moonlight. Cryptid chatter blowing up the airwaves. Dr. Hogwash gonna make your day. Dr. Hogwash, yeah, he's the boss. Taking all the secrets and scrubbing off the gloss. Dr. Hogwash, awesome. Turn it up loud. The truth is stranger and it's drawing a crowd. Oh, Sasquatch tracks, Roswell facts, tinfoil hats. Dr. Hogwash got your back. Dr. Hogwash, oh yeah, don't stop. Turn it up, it's a truth drop. Dr. Hogwash, oh yeah, don't stop. You ready now? Let's go pop, pop, pop.
Welcome back, seekers, skeptics, and people who clicked this episode because something in the title made their spine itch. I am Dr. Hogwash, not a medical doctor, not a philosophy professor, but I do own several books that smell like dust and bad decisions. Tonight's question is simple but unsettling. What if your thoughts are not yours? What if consciousness does not begin at birth, but checks into a body like a rented car, already dented, already full of someone else's fingerprints? And what if Plato, yes, that Plato, tunic-wearing, cave-haunting Plato, already knew this? Because buried in his work is a recurring idea that refuses to die, that we begin as beings of pure consciousness, that we descend into matter, that learning is not learning at all, but remembering, and that something higher, older, and more complete is quietly feeding us information from above. Tonight we're talking about Plato, the source, and the possibility that the voice in your head is senior management. Let's dig in. Segment 1. Plato did not think you were born blank. Modern culture loves the idea that the human mind starts as an empty hard drive. Plato absolutely rejected this. In Meno, Plato introduces one of his most interesting ideas, anamnesis, or recollection. He argues that the soul already knows everything. Learning is simply the act of remembering what the soul knew before entering the body. To prove this, Plato famously has Socrates question an uneducated slave boy about geometry. The boy, with no training, arrives at correct mathematical conclusions purely through guided questioning. Plato's implication is explosive. Knowledge does not come from experience. It comes from somewhere prior to experience. Which raises a problem. If the soul knew these truths before birth, where was it? Plato's answer is not subtle. Segment 2. Before the body, there was the source. In Phaedrus and Symposium, Plato describes the soul as originating in a higher realm, often called the realm of forms. This is not heaven in the religious sense. It is not a place with clouds and harps. It is a non-physical domain of perfect patterns, where truth, beauty, justice, and goodness exist in their pure form. Souls, according to Plato, once traveled freely in this realm. They perceived reality directly. No senses, no language, no confusion. Then something happened. The soul fell. It became embodied. And embodiment, Plato insists, is a degradation. The body is not an upgrade. It is a limiter, a filter, a fog machine strapped to a divine mind. If this sounds suspiciously like consciousness being compressed into matter, congratulations, you're following Plato correctly. Segment 3. The allegory of the cave is about consciousness. Everyone hears the allegory of the cave in philosophy class and thinks it's about ignorance. That's not quite right. In the Republic, Plato describes prisoners chained in a cave, watching shadows projected on a wall. They believe the shadows are reality. One prisoner escapes, sees the real world, and returns to tell the others. They hate him for it. Plato is not talking about politics or education alone. He is describing levels of consciousness. The cave is embodiment. The shadows are sensory data. The fire is the mechanism projecting reality. The outside world is the realm of forms. And the returning prisoner is someone who has reconnected to a higher perspective. Notice something crucial. The prisoner does not gain new information. He remembers what reality actually is, which suggests something uncomfortable. We are not discovering truth. We are slowly remembering it. Segment 4. The soul has a hierarchy. Plato did not believe the soul was a single, simple thing. In the Republic, he divides the soul into 3 parts: the rational soul, the spirited soul, the appetitive soul. Most people assume this is metaphorical, but what if it's structural? What if Plato is describing layers of consciousness, where the rational soul is closer to the source and the appetitive soul is closer to matter? And here's where it gets strange. Plato consistently implies that the rational soul has access to truths the lower parts do not. It recognizes the forms. It is drawn upward. It feels homesick for something it cannot quite name. Ever had the sense that you are more than your habits? That your thoughts sometimes arrive fully formed? That insight feels delivered, not manufactured? Plato would say that is not imagination. That is communication across levels of being. Segment 5. The Timaeus and the Cosmic Mind. In Timaeus, Plato introduces the demiurge, a cosmic intelligence that orders reality according to the forms. Important clarification. The demiurge does not create consciousness from nothing. It organizes pre-existing chaos. This implies consciousness is fundamental, not emergent. Matter is secondary. Mind comes first. And souls, Plato suggests, are crafted according to cosmic patterns, then placed into bodies as part of a larger informational system. If that sounds like consciousness fracturing into localized nodes, again, you're reading Plato accurately. Segment 6. Are we being fed information by higher versions of ourselves? Plato never uses the phrase higher self, but he dances around the idea constantly. The soul, before incarnation, has direct access to truth. After incarnation, it does not lose that knowledge completely. It loses access. Recollection happens through philosophy, contemplation, beauty, love, sudden insight. Plato describes love in Symposium as a ladder, ascending from physical attraction to pure knowledge of the good. This ladder is not external. It is internal ascent, which raises a dangerous possibility. What if intuition is not guesswork? What if insight is not creativity? What if sudden understanding is a signal, not from gods, not from aliens, but from a more complete version of you that never forgot? Segment 7. Why this idea makes people uncomfortable. If Plato was right, then you are not your body. Your thoughts are not purely local. Consciousness does not originate in the brain. Reality is layered. Authority structures based on materialism collapse. This is why Plato was not just a philosopher. He was a threat. Athens executed Socrates for corrupting the youth. What was the corruption? Teaching people that truth does not come from institutions, but from remembering something already inside them. That is not education. That is awakening. Plato believed the soul begins in light, descends into shadow, and spends a lifetime trying to remember what it once knew. If that's true, then consciousness is not climbing upward. It's trying to go home. So the next time a thought arrives fully formed, the next time insight feels delivered, the next time you feel like you're receiving information rather than inventing it, maybe you are. This has been Dr. Hogwash, reminding you that the cave is comfortable, the shadows are convincing, and the exit is always inconvenient. Until next time, stay curious, stay suspicious, and don't trust any reality that needs constant explaining. Dr. Hogwash, out.